Hey there everyone, my name is Jesse Cox and welcome to an indie game show that I still haven't named yet because I'm not really sure what it's going to be. The only thing I knew is that I wanted to start getting back into indie games more and didn't want to wait for inspiration to strike me for a name that doesn't really matter. We'll figure it out later. Over the past few weeks, I've seen a bunch of my friends playing a game called Loop Hero on their streams. And every time I'd ask, how does this even work? They'd say a bunch of words and I'd pretend to understand, but y'all, I had no clue what they were talking about. It was like watching someone play those 4X space games, you know what I mean? They tell you it's incredibly easy, but you are in visual stimuli overload. So I figured everyone has to be playing this for a reason, so I downloaded the game myself, without really much knowledge of what the hell was going on, and decided to play it. Turns out Loop Hero is about that age-old tale of a space lich wiping out all of reality, and the only person left to save everyone is you, the hero. But the catch is you have no memory, you don't know why any of this is happening, and more importantly, you are somehow connected to all the events of the past. And the game does a solid job of dropping hints and clues and deepening the mystery as you continue on your journey. Your journey, of course, is reassembling the world. You do so on these race tracks from hell that randomly form, your hero moving automatically across it. At your disposal are cards that contain landmarks that you place on the track, like mountains, towers, towns, and spider caverns. All of these help you in some way, but also cause monsters to spawn into the world. Your character moves around fighting these monsters and getting equipment and loot. You and they grow stronger as you go around the loop, giving more and more cards, and eventually you place enough cards to spawn the boss of the loop. However, if you die, you lose a large amount of the loot you collected, all of your weapons, it's a bad day all around, but in a very roguelike, one of those ways, you wake up in a town now filling with other survivors of the world's end. They too don't remember much, but will help you out in unraveling the mystery and defeating the loop that somehow only you are able to see and manifest life on. You can build additions to the town that will grant you bonuses, the ability to level up, starting equipment, and even new classes. You can even unlock new cards to add to your hand and change up how you tackle the loop. And when you're ready, you jump back in and try your luck again. The first thing I thought of while playing this game was another game that I played on my phone for a while called The Guild of Dungeoneering. It's visually totally different, but the same concept. You place dungeon tiles for your hero to move around, kill monsters until they're strong enough to fight the boss. The idea, just like with Loop Hero, is you have to know when to stop farming and leveling, and when to take on the baddie. There's a balance at play, and you really only learn that through experience. And honestly, that's how I learned most of the things in this game. Just making dumb mistakes and realizing how to tackle challenges through trial and error. Finding the right weapon and armor combos, finding the best cards for certain parts of the loop, where to place the vampires or the Time Lordy guys, even how or when to use cards to destroy certain parts of the map. Some of the major things I learned off the top of my head, there is definitely a loot cap. I had no clue, so on one of my better runs, I just kept going around thinking, I'm gonna make a fortune and build the best base possible. Turns out, after a certain point, you simply stop collecting. Another thing I learned that seems very important is that the Oblivion card can be used to destroy tiles, not just random things on the map, but also the Lich's castle itself when it appears. Each tile destroyed in the castle removes 5% of his damage. That's huge! I had no clue. I'm sure if I was on stream, someone would have told me, but stumbling onto that was massive. Speaking of streaming, I get why people are playing this game. It's pretty much a perfect streamer game. At its core, it's very passive. So there are times when you need to place a card here or change loot there, but really, it's just your little hero going around in a circle doing the murdering for you. There's lots of time to talk with your chat or goof around or contemplate builds or card placement locations. I get it, but I didn't stream it, and honestly, I still enjoyed because I was just vibing to the music, which, by the way, the music's very good in this game. If I did have to be that guy who complained about anything, it definitely has some grindy parts to it. Going around the loop, trying to get enough materials to build or upgrade a location back in town is not something I ever enjoy. I really don't like grinding in anything, in any game. I never liked it in MMOs. I never like it for achievements. I never like it for any sort of like armor collecting. It just is never anything I enjoy. And I understand some people love it. It's just not for me. I will say early on, the process of running around the loop, gathering materials, helped me become more familiar with the game and understand some of the core parts of it, and going back to town unlocks more things. The more times you go back to town, you unlock new conversations and new buildings and all. But after a while, I hit that, ooh, I don't know that I like this feeling. And that's a shame, because I really enjoy this game. I just understand it's a core mechanic of the game that I just don't like. It's obviously a personal preference. It ebbed and flowed as I played. Sometimes I'd be like, this is the run, I'm gonna do it, and then I die, and I'd be like, okay, I have to grind. And I get in that grindy mode, and then I come back and be like, let's do this. But there are also times when you get back to town and you realize you're one material away from something, which means, all right, back on the loop. And it's that kind of feeling where you're just like, oh, it's like a job. I don't know, it's just one of those things that being alone in my room playing it, I'm sure is a totally different experience than if I were to stream it to you all, because I know that I'd have a lot more fun hanging out and talking and going through those parts with you rather than just by myself. Anyway, that's Loop Hero. I get it now, I understand the hype, and hopefully you do too. I'm gonna play it more. I got stuck on that third loop, I swear. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'd be thrilled if you do all the YouTubey things and give this video a like or a comment or tweet it to your nana, whatever you want to do. Thank you again so very much, and we'll see you next time for another indie game show that I'm too lazy to name.